What's up, everybody? Quick little video here. I'm teaching you guys how to make a granny square today. And then part two, I'll teach you guys how to make a circle so that we can eventually make this hat right here. The next video after these two videos will be me making this hat. So sit tight, get ready for the video. All right, everybody, so you wanna make a granny square. I got you. But first, before you make a granny square, you gotta learn how to make that circle. That bad boy right there. Because if you notice from our last video, we went line to line. And that was cool, but certain things that are circular starting around. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a magic circle. We'll get straight to it. So I taught you how to make a slip knot. Cool, we don't need that today. What you gotta make today is a magic circle. And it's because it gets tighter and tighter. Now this one doesn't slip, so that's why it's not called a slip knot. It's called a magic circle. There's plenty of ways to make this, but all I like to do is literally make a circle right here. And all I do is take that end right there. See, the end is laying on top. End one, end twice. You got a magic circle. So let's do that again. Take it out quick. You wanna make a longer tail though. This is the tail, you wanna make it longer. You make a little circle with the tail on top. And you go in once and in again. Now you have a magic circle. And you just like tighten it a little bit. So after you have that magic circle, you had it this way, right? You're gonna turn it that way. And you're gonna see this little loop right here. So I'll take my hook, put it in there. And now you're ready to start. I like to adjust it to my finger, like that, and you're ready to start. You wanna start by chaining one into that loop you just found. Ignore that circle in the middle. We're not using that yet. You just chain one. Once you chain one, now you can start. And what I like to do to save myself the trouble is this little tail, put it behind, out the way, and I hold it. Now I'm just holding it. Now you are doing a double crochet into the circle. So you yarn over, go into that magic circle, come back out, pull through two, pull through two. Just slow that down, yarn over, into the magic circle, pull one out. Now you got three on there. Yarn over, pull through two, and pull through two. Now the reason you're going into the circle like this is because if you actually pull this tail, it's going to tighten down. I'm not going to do that yet because I'm not done. I'm going to do 12 of these double crochets in a circle. That's what you'll pull it down. So actually I'm not going to do 12 in there. Well, I am going to do 12. See, I sound so confused. I'm going to do, no matter what, no matter if you do a circle or a square, you're still doing 12. Now let me explain this real quick. This first row right here is 12 double crochets. This first row, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, is 12 double crochets. The difference is there's a little gap in between every three. That's what gives it this square shape, because there's a gap in between every three. If you see every single row, there's a gap. How do you make that gap? I got you. So you see I have two right there. We're gonna do one more. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera, it's shaking it. One more. Now before I keep going, if I was making a circle, I would just keep going and make 12. And you can do that in this video. Right now I'm gonna do the granny square. So we're right here, those the three. To make that gap, all we're gonna do is chain one. Chain one. Then you go back to regularly scheduled programming. You do 3 more double crochets. So I'm gonna do those a little bit faster. And if you see, I'm shaking a mess out of this camera. If you see, it makes a gap. That gap will be used in the future to put more. Every time you have a gap, the next time you go around, there'll be 2 in there. But I'll explain that once we get to that point. So now I've done 3. It's time to make another gap because we're turning corners. We'll do 3 again because I'm making my baby square first before I go on and make whatever size granny square I need for my project, whether it be a blanket, a cardigan. I've seen people do hats. Well, I do hats. I've seen people do scarves. But, you know, whatever size granny square you need, this is where you started at. And I didn't explain it, but I just made another gap because I did 3. So I'm going to do 3 more in there. Well, actually, I got 1 more now because I just did 2. Now you may be wondering, how do you end it? Because, you know, if I make another one, if I chain another one, I'm supposed to just keep going. Well, you're just going to chain like normal. And you go back and count that original 3. You got 1, 2, 3. You're going to put your hook right in that third. Right in that third. So 1, 2, 3. Right in that third. It's a little blurry, but you see it better in your hands. And you're just going to pull all the way through. So now that I have that, you can see like somewhat of a square, but you can definitely see 4 gaps. But there's a big gap in the middle. Pull your yarn real quick so you don't get it lost. Turn it over. And all you're going to do is just pull that tail. That's why you want to make the magic circle, because now, like magic, it's gone. Still see it there, but you know, now nothing can go in there. Now I could force it back open, but I don't need that right now. So how do we start the next row? With this, I'll explain later on in this video. You just you'll end the row, go up, keep going, keep going. With granny squares though, you don't go the same way the whole time. See, I just went left to right, you know, in a counterclockwise position. Now I'm going to take it, I chained 1. So, you know, I just joined it. I chained 1 and I flip it. Now, to save myself from having to sew in the ends, I kind of push this out the way so I can still see that gap. And all you do is do your 3 double crochets like normal. Now, in other tutorials, you'll see that people chain 2, or they put a chain in between each one. I don't do that because I like to have a tighter, more organized look, as you can see. So I'm gonna teach it that way. So I've done 3, and I'm in a gap. So what does a gap need? It needs 2 of these sets of 3. Before I do the second set of 3, I need to add a chain 1 to make a new corner. And you can see that, oh, my hand just cracked. I'm getting old, guys. After I do that 3, I'm gonna show you why we did 2 in the corner, just to reiterate. You have that first row, 1, 2, 3, 4. That second row is 4 corners. You're doing nothing but making 2 in a corner, 2 in a corner, 2 in a corner, 2 in a corner. It's not until the 3rd row that you can actually do 2 in a corner, a gap, 2 in a corner. But that makes sense as we go through it. So let's keep going. So we did our corner. Now, other people teach it. I'm about to go into this side and go into this next space. Usually people chain 1, and you can do that. Nothing against it. But just remember, if you chain 1 in between your sets of 3, then make sure you chain 2 on the corner, because you have to make sure the sizes add up. But since I only chained 1 on the corner, I won't put a chain in between it at all, because me going into the next space gives me enough of a gap. You see how I formed a gap? Yeah, so I don't need a chain to emphasize that gap, because it's already there, so that when I come back around, I can see it again. So I'm gonna finish this round real quick. All I'm gonna do is chain 1, then do my next set of 3. Like normal. I'm gonna do that all the way around, and I'll get back to you when I finish the round. So I'm done with that second row, which, you know, is all we always believe in checking behind ourselves. There's that 1, 2, 3, 4 for the first row, and then, you know, the next row should be what? I was about to say 8, but actually it's 16. Actually, it is 8. I'm tripping. I don't know why I can't count today. But yeah, if the first row is 4, the next row has to be 8. And then it goes on and on. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Third row. How much do you think the third row is? It's actually not 16. It's 4 more each row. I mean, it's actually you're adding 8 each row, I think. Let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you're adding 4 each row. So every row you got, you're adding 4 each row. So the next row is 16. So 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. And right here, we have 4, 8. It would have been 12, 16. But now we're going to teach you guys how to do the circle, just in case you're not coming here for a granny square. So let's get into that.